Like you said about your, you like wearing your dad's clothes and so Haushala, my co-founder is also my elder sister, अनि त्यसपछि so we have a shared closet as well, अनि आजकल चाहिँ we are on this hunt of आमाको closet मा के पाउँछ होला हुन्छ नि, अनि त्यसपछि when Haushala styles it, oh my god, why didn't I think of it before, हुन्छ के, so it's like a competition जस्तो हुन्छ नि, to see old clothes from very different lens, and it's all about styling, हुन्छ नि, but like you said, attachment, emotion. Now, clothes have been, clothes tell us history, so पहिलाको kapra movie, periodic movies हरूमा पनि it's from the clothes that we can make out, like we just look at the poster and we know that ए यो movie चाहिँ पुरानो जमानाको रहेछ भनेर, ए यो movie चाहिँ अलिक futuristic खालको रहेछ भनेर न, but it's clothes that defines us, अनि that time period, अनि it's been as soon as we're born, हामीलाई चाहिँ एउटा piece of कपडामा नै बाँधिदिन्छ नि त. Main purpose is actually the basic need हो नि त खासमा.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 17 of the podcast series Less or More. Today my guest is Samantha Thapa Magar. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you for having me.
She's the co-founder of Haushala Creatives. I think in one of my episodes I had Anish Tuladar. We were talking about, I don't know if you know him or not, but we were talking about veganism in Nepal, and is it difficult and what does it entail भन्ने कुराहरू. And after that, we were just talking about some of the topics I wanted to cover, and then he said this topic might be really good because you guys are now really into recycling, upcycling and upcycling. I don't know if many people know about that. We're going to talk a long time about that a little bit later. But आज हामी चाहिँ के कुरा गर्छौँ भने sustainable fashion को बारेमा, which I think you guys are working really hard towards, right? Actually, before we get into the podcast, would you mind telling us a little bit about Haushala Creatives so that people know about this?
Definitely. So we started Haushala Creatives as a project back in 2013. Junjete was mostly manufacturing based, like we were making handcrafted products. हामीहरुको कति धेरै सिपहरु छ दिदीहरुसँग काठमाडौँ वरिपरिकै भनेर, so we worked with women artisans from the marginalized communities from the urban area of Kathmandu. We used to make dhaka products, knitwear, and back in 2013, say the market was त्यो demand पनि थियो, अनि त्यसपछि अलिकता custom style designs थिएन. So that is how we started, and we formally registered as a business in 2016. And I think after 2016, say there was a shift in mindset of us as co-founders. Okay. So there are two co-founders. I am one, and the other is Haushala herself. And we thought that, the name, we're going to keep Haushala because it means encouragement. And since we work with women, so, but over the years, we've had this shift in our mindset that fashionable matra bhayera bhayena, ani we were always an ethical brand because we made sure that our makers are paid well and they're paid on time and stuff like that. But we also want to be a sustainable brand in terms of where we also think about the environment, where does our products come from. So let's say we're going through a transition of advocating for sustainable fashion, and also we're trying to be a catalyst so that sustainable fashion is accessible, and we have responsible consumption in the market and on the production side as well. So that's a transition that we're going through.
And sustainable fashion, just recording we were talking about this, how people have this misconception that sustainable fashion has to be expensive because there's so taking care of your workers and making sure that your employees are paid well, paid on time, get proper breaks, all that stuff, come on time, all that stuff. That there's some cost within all of that.
Right.
And then now when you go into your raw materials, also have to be sustainable.
Right.
right? The things that go into your clothes, everything, all your raw materials sustainable हुने बेलामा these same costs raw materials मा पनि छ. So त्यसले गर्दा चाहिँ महँगो हुनुपर्छ भन्ने सोच्छन् के. मैले अस्ति नै सिलसिलाजीसँगको एपिसोडमा पनि I talked about Patagonia के. हैन, like when you think of sustainable fashion, you know, that's quite up there.
Right.
हैन. But then Patagonia is also expensive.
Right.
हैन, अनि यस्तै कुरा हो. Sustainable fashion tends to be expensive and people step away from it and then go towards fast fashion because it's cheap.
Right.
अनि like how are you tackling that चाहिँ नि?
So absolutely, fast fashion popular भएको कारण पनि because it's accessible. So that's the kind of changes that we want to bring, that it's not always about buying money, okay?
Exactly.
That we already have so much khasma, but we value it less. And even according to research, हामीले एउटा एकदमै मन परेर सामान किन्दाखेरि पनि कपडा किन्दाखेरि चाहिँ 7 चोटी भन्दा बेसी चाहिँ लाउँदैन रे क्या हुन्छ नि. But this was a survey done global north मा जता चाहिँ fast fashion is हुन्छ नि. तर global south मा पनि छ हैन. But what I'm trying to say is that I think the whole idea of that, in order to be sustainable, we have to consume. Bhannu नै is something that we're trying to challenge.
Exactly.
So that is how we've started introducing, we've introduced our repair community, where people come together, repair their clothes, and we also do redesign and repair service. So पहिला नै चाहिँ we were a brand that used to just produce. We are making sure that we produce responsibly. And at the same time, we give that service where people can value what they already have and add some excitement and touch to it. And I think that's how we're delivering it.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. यहाँ मान्छेहरुको misconception के छ भने like सस्तो किन्ने भएन 2-4 महिनामा अर्को किन्ने अनि त्यो के हुन्छ त्यसले गर्दा वेस्ट बढ्छ. जस्तै एउटा टोपीमा एउटा ज्याकेटमा यति प्लास्टिक र पानी छ अनि त्यो सस्तो होस् महँगो होस् प्रोडक्सनमा त लागेकै छ नि त्यो सबै मटेरियल्सहरु अनि त्यो सबै रिसोर्सेसहरु लागेको छ. त्यसपछि सस्तो किन्यो अनि त्यसपछि अर्को किन्यो गर्नुको सट्टा बरु राम्रो किन्यो तर राम्रो नराम्रो जेसुकै होस् लामो समयको लागि चलाऊ हैन. त्यसलाई अलि लाइफ चाहिँ इलोंगेट गर भन्ने चाहिँ कुरा आई थिंक मान्छेहरुले यहाँ अलि त्यति धेरै याद गर्दैनन् के हैन. गएर किनिहालौँला नि भन्ने त्यो माइन्डसेट चाहिँ छ. अनि द रिजन आई से बाई नाइस इभन इफ इट्स एक्सपेन्सिभ इज बिकज त्यसलाई डिस्कार्ड गर्न चाहिँ माया लाग्छ कि हो हैन. सस्तो छ भने त्यसलाई डिस्कार्ड गर्न माया लाग्दैन. अनि अगेन यु नो डिपेन्ड्स हाउ मच रिसोर्सेस आर अवेलेबल टु यु हैन. पैसा पनि चाहिन्छ राम्रोसँग महँगो सामान किन्नको लागि. तर माई पर्सपेक्टिभ इज अलिकति माया लाग्ने सामान किन्यो भने चाहिँ त्यसलाई फाल्न पनि माया लाग्छ. अनि रिपेयरको कुरा पनि आई थिंक द्याट्स वी क्यान कम ब्याक टु द्याट अ लिटल बिट लेटर हैन. बट आई रियली वान्ट टु फोकस अन दिस रिपेयरको थिङ द्याट युआर स्टार्टिङ के रिपेयर रिकनेक्ट एन्ड रिडिजाइन भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ. टु स्टार्ट अफ द पडकास्ट व्हाट आई वान्टेड टु डु वाज सिन्स वी आर टकिङ अबाउट सस्टेनेबल फ्यासन आई वान्टेड टु टक अबाउट योर एन्ड माई क्लोथ्स. हाम्रो लुगाहरूको बारेमा कुरा गरौँ भनेर के. Like I tend to get the concept of minimalism is don't get attached to your things. I know because these are just material things. I know but I'm very attached to my clothes. Okay? I think that helps me in my perspective and philosophy of minimalism that I don't easily let go of it. Okay?
Right.
I know masanga जुत्ताहरु छ which are 6-7 years old. I've got like shirts, pants, most of my clothes are like 4, 5, 6 years old. Some of them are 10, 20 years old. Why? Because my dad go.
Right.
So like 3-4 months like every season I go to my dad's closet and Papa यो लाउनु भएको छ, Papa यो लाउनु भएको छ, छैन मलाई राम्रो लाग्यो म alter गर्छु है भन्छ. And then I alter it. Today itself I took 3 of my dad's coats because like I was thinking अब चाहिँ म कोटहरु लाउन थाल्नु पर्ला भनेर सोचे के. फेरि के किन्न जाने हैन. अब ड्याडकै छ कतिवटा ड्याड र म नै शपिङ जान्छु मोस्ट अफ द टाइम. बरु त्यसलाई अल्टर गरेर म त्यो लाउँछु. आई अल्टर हिज शर्ट्स, आई अल्टर हिज प्यान्ट्स, आई अल्टर हिज ज्याकेट्स, स्वेटर्स. एन्ड द थिङ इज लाइक इफ हि इज नट वेयरिङ इट अनि दराजमा छ इट्स अ वेस्ट अफ द मनी द्याट हि स्पेन्ट अन इट. इट्स अ वेस्ट अफ रिसोर्सेस द्याट वेन्ट इन टु मेकिङ इट. तर मैले युज गरेँ भने आई गेभ इट अ सेकेन्ड लाइफ हैन. जस्ट बिकज यु स्पेन्ड फर एक्जाम्पल 5,000 7,000 एउटा लुगामा doesn't mean it has that value neither. If you wear it, it has that value.
Right.
अनि जति धेरै धेरै लगाइराख्यो भने त्यसको भ्याल्यु मेबी 5-7 हजार भन्दा बढी होला, तर लगाइराखेन भने त त्यो त वेस्ट हो त्यो. अनि म चाहिँ लाउँछु कि त्यो पापाकै लुगाहरू लगाइदिन्छु. अनि त्यो भाइ आउँछ दराज हेर्छ तैँले त सब पापाको लुगा लगेछ जस्तो भनेर लिन्छ कि. सो इट गेट्स अ थर्ड लाइफ नाउ. अनि आई रियली लाइक द्याट कि आई लाइक द कन्सेप्ट अफ दिज लाइक क्लोथ्स गेटिङ अ सेकेन्ड थर्ड लाइफ के. अनि you don't अब त्यो फ्यामिलीमा नै मेबी समवन डजन्ट लाइक योर फेसन स्टाइल अर समथिङ, भाइले तिम्रो कुरा नलगाऊ होला ठिकै छ, तर यु क्यान डोनेट इट, गिभ इट टु सम अफ योर कजन्स हु माइट वान्ट इट होइन. माई होल थिङ चाहिँ माई रिलेसनसिप विथ क्लोथ्स इज आई गेट भेरी अट्याच टु माई क्लोथ्स विच मेक्स मी वान्ट टु किप इट लङ्गर एन्ड वेयर इट मोर एन्ड मोर. देयर हेभ बिन टाइम्स लाइक हिजो म 3टा लाइक जुत्ताहरू 7 years old के लाइक हेर्दाखेरि इट्स अ गुड कन्डिसन जस्तो लागिरहेको थियो. There was a little bit of wear and tear, but I was like, still okay. I'm like, people can't see that wear and tear. The heels ma bhako wear and tear kolle dekhcha ra, because heels bhane dekhne bhanda hirdakeri for a split second matra ta dekhincha. I wanted to keep it. 7-year-old shoes also, you can imagine कति पुरानो होला भनेर ड्याडले भयो कि छ अरू जुत्ता तसँग छोड्दे यो बरु डोनेट गरौँ त भनेर. And then we donated that. Like some people might have thrown it away. We donated it to people like in building mein, to some guards or like. And those shoes pani actually I had repaired it. Like my boots, I loved those boots so much. Chatyo bhanra malai tyo phalne man lagena. Ani मैले रिपेयर गरेँ कि अनि अझै चलाएँ 2-3 वर्षको लागि. So my relationship with clothes चाहिँ त्यस्तो छ कि like because even though it goes against some things of minimalism, don't get attached. Because I'm so attached, I make sure I get full value from it.
Right.
And I wanted to know your also, because I mean you're now in this business now of sustainable fashion, and I wanted to know your also story of your connection and relationship with clothes.
So I'll be honest, I think up until 2018 ko beginning ma pani retail therapy was the solution. Okay, you're feeling happy, go shop. Huncha ni. But with time, I think exposure. So that is why we really believe in advocacy, because someone else told us. We got that exposure. त्यसपछि नै how to be a conscious consumer in terms of fashion and we came from that field नै पनि अनि I think it's because of that. That is why we believe in hamle pura hamro transition pani it's also around sustainable fashion, sustainable responsible fashion consumption prati nai cha हैन advocacy, like we're trying to advocate. So like you said about you like wearing your dad's clothes and so Haushala, my co-founder is also my elder sister, अनि त्यसपछि so we have a shared closet as well, अनि आजकल चाहिँ we are on this hunt of आमाको closet मा के पाउँछ होला हुन्छ नि हैन. अनि त्यसपछि when Haushala styles it, oh my god, why didn't I think of it before हुन्छ के. So it's like a competition जस्तो हुन्छ नि, to see old clothes from very different lens हैन. And it's all about styling हुन्छ नि. But like you said, attachment, emotion. Now clothes have been clothes tell us history, so पहिलानिको कपडा movie periodic movies हरुमा पनि it's from the clothes that we can make out, like we just look at the poster and we know that यो movie चाहिँ पुरानो जमानाको रहेछ भनेर, यो movie चाहिँ अलिक futuristic खालको रहेछ भनेर न. But it's clothes that defines us अनि that time period. अनि it's been as soon as we're born, हामीलाई चाहिँ एउटा piece of कपडामा नै बाँधिदिन्छ नि त. Main purpose is actually the basic need हो नि त खासमा.
Yes.
अनि but with that doesn't mean that attachment आउँदैन हुन्छ नि, and it's all to do with emotions नै हैन. So when our dad passed away, there's this superstition that मरेको मान्छेको कपडा त लाउनु हुँदैन. I think that's why people refrain from thrifting, swapping clothes, कहाँबाट आएको थाहा छैन भन्ने कुरा. But then that was our way of connecting with our dad and keeping pieces of him with us by redesigning it, altering it. So I'm wearing his pants aju, which is probably like more than 25 years old, which was cupboard ma थियो. And it was a year ago when we were cleaning up his closet, it was like if we threw all of this away, and there were like कतिवटा कपडाहरू that he really enjoyed wearing, that he really liked wearing. Until that, you know, we don't need to throw it away, we can redesign it, make it wearable for ourselves, and it's still like keeping a part of him with us, okay? So attachment is the beauty pani ke your world ma and that is what makes you creative pani rahicha ke because rakhnalai matra huncha ni rakhnalai matra कुनै बक्सामा बन्द गरेर को साटो चाहिँ but we can wear it ourselves भनेर because after all clothes were meant to and were made to last ni so I think that is how huncha ni we started bringing it into practice every day. Thrifting-हरु गर्न थाल्यौं तर then I soon started realizing that thrifting is still consumerism नै हो नि त in a sense like I like something and I want to buy it but do I really need it हुन्छ नि how long am I going to cherish it भन्ने these are the questions that I ask myself के आजकल so instead of adding something new to my closet I try to play this game of what can I find in my closet भनेर and everything is different from one another के हुन्छ नि because I sometimes feel like I'm not keeping up with the fashion. That's changing every time, the seasons of fashion. But I think I got lost.
You're still in there.
Yeah. So I think because you mentioned emotions while apart, that is one way that how I'm trying to be sustainable with my closet.
And like, I mean, like what you were talking about, you wearing your father's pants and like, you know, me going to my dad's closet and like getting, like these shoes are my dad's shoes. So my dad and my shoe size is the same. Okay? So like most of the shoes, like we like similar shoes. And so, घरमा छ ड्याडले कहिलेकाहीँ मेरो लाउनुहुन्छ मैले कहिलेकाहीँ ड्याडको लाउँछु लाइक थाहा पनि हुँदैन कि लाइक आज ड्याडले लाउनु भयो भोलि म त्यो जुत्ता लगाइदिन्छु लाइक इट really doesn't matter and that's the whole point of again getting the most value of the things that that like Mother Earth has spent its resources on.
Absolutely.
And you have also personally spent your resources on, okay? And I think like, you know, what we were talking about is also the concept of recycling clothing rather than, you know, you throwing away your clothes or giving it to someone else. You recycled it and are using it again to, you know, match your own fashion trends or whatever, you know. म पनि जस्तै प्यान्टहरु अल्टर गर्छु ड्याडको ठुलो हुन्छ म अलिकति अझै सिलाएर म आफूलाई फिट गराउँछु सक्यो रिसाइकल भयो त्यो क्लोथ्सहरु ड्याडको 10 वर्ष पुरानो प्यान्टहरु पनि मैले लाइरहेको छु के हैन सो यो चाहिँ गर्न आई थिंक इट्स रियली इम्पोर्टेन्ट के अनि टाइममा लाइक माइ ड्याड एन्ड आई अल्सो वी डु दिस डिक्लटरिङ अफ आवर क्लोजेट लाइक जस्ट आजको एपिसोडको लागि म हिजो बेलुका प्रिपेयर गरेर आएको बेलामा आई डिड like a huge decluttering of my closet. पहिले गरिसकेको थिएँ सुटकेसमा सामान थियो then a cousin came to Kathmandu and then just talking about decluttering and all and then I said you know what a lot of my clothes might actually fit you, do you want to try it out भने he tried some भयो fit भयो got another life. Doesn't matter who it is going to okay?
Exactly.
It shouldn't go to landfills. That's the whole point. हैन अनि like हिजो पनि मैले कति decluttering गरे I'm thinking like this suitcase is like what 20 kgs or something right now. I'm thinking of donating it somewhere. I was talking to someone, they mentioned a shop to me. Donate garne. From there it'll go to someone else. And another life paउँछ okay? Like do you practice decluttering and यस्तो कुराहरु पनि?
I'm more of a hoarder खालको के हुन्छ नि हैन where I tend to get very attached with the things that I own हुन्छ नि अनि I think मेरो whole family मा सबसे धेरै attachment सामानहरुसँग हुने खालको मान्छे चाहिँ म हो but then I do practice decluttering time and again in like how many times am I wearing this or using this stuff or not भनेर अनि त्यसपछि I try to see the condition of the clothes as well हैन because I think there's this very एउटा misconception पनि छ कि अब डोनेट गर्ने भनेपछि जस्तो कपडा पनि गर्दै हुन्छ भन्ने पनि छ अनि जस्तै मैले यदि आफूले फाटेको कपडा लाउँदिन but someone else who needs it will wear that फाटेको कपडा भन्ने conception छ हैन अनि यो चाहिँ मैले कहिले रियलाइज गरे भने एकचोटी this was back in 2011 or 12 यस्तै बाडी पिरियडको लागि चाहिँ हामीले सामानहरु कपडाहरु कलेक्ट गर्दै थियौ अनि the condition of the clothes were horrible because people were just trying to get rid of it.
Get rid of clothes. Not give it to someone, just get rid of it.
So the whole idea of donating was, let me get rid of my clothes. This is the best chance we have, and then you throw away everything. So what happens is, we need to think of the product life cycle. Manufacturers are if I don't need this and it's not in a condition that I'm gonna wear it, will this other person really value this or not?
Exactly.
And what happens if this person really doesn't want it? Because the condition ramrai chaina bhane पछि त eventually it's ending up in the landfill. So we might be feeling like, oh, we're giving it to someone else, but we really need to think through and I think this matter, it also comes to the respect wala part. Do we respect the people that we're passing it on to? And I think that
if you knew the person and if you were handing it to them, would you feel ashamed that you're doing this one?
Right.
Or would you feel happy for them and selfishly for yourself also that you're doing something nice by donating those clothes? Because there's a distance between the person donating and the person getting it. It's a bag or a box that you're putting it in. And people tend to not be too respectful.
Right. And to live a sustainable life, I think empathy is a really important part, because until and unless you empathize with someone else, to hammer choices side. So I think it's got to do a lot with emotions as much as it's got to do with environment and science and climate change.
Oh my God, I'm so glad climate change I want to talk about this also. So your donations ko kura garda chai I've noticed this a lot of people one thing that I didn't like about my house, which I kind of like right now, is like गन्जीहरु जुन हुन्छ नि हैन त्यो अलि पुरानो भएपछि कि मान्छेहरुले फाल्छन् कि सम घरहरुमा चाहिँ त्यसलाई च्यातेर it becomes a rug.
Right.
A rug भने के हो, just a piece of cloth that you wipe with. I know you don't have to go and buy a rug. If you've got pieces of clothing that you can use, अब towelहरु च्यात्या छ भने you can make that into a rug later, हैन, which I didn't like that before, right? I used to cringe, but now I feel really happy it's already there, make use of it भन्ने कुरा हैन त्यो छँदै छ तर म त्यो गन्जीहरुको बारेमा कुरा गर्दा चाहिँ मान्छेले डोनेसन के दिन्छ भनेर भन्दा चाहिँ a lot of people take out go to the underwear drawer, sock drawer, and then take out vest, यो पुरानो भयो, रङ गयो, all that stuff हैन, त्यो हाल्न थाल्छन्. T-shirts, पुरानो T-shirts हाल्छन्, which they're not using anymore, and then दाग लागेको शर्ट प्यान्टहरु हाल्छन् है. तर आफुलाई मन पर्ने लुगा जुन चाहिँ चलाएको छैन वर्षौं भयो त्यो चाहिँ दिदैनन् के हैन. Come on man, you're not doing that's not a garbage can, that's a donation box,
right?
And if you're not wearing it and you are मुख खुम्चाएर हेरिरहेको छ त्यो लुगाहरुलाई, should you be donating that? If you haven't worn it and you feel like someone can get value from it, बल त्यो पो हो डोनेसन भनेको. यो डोनेसनको चाहिँ मलाई त्यो पनि मन पर्दैन के यहाँ कति ठाउँमा मैले देखेको. तर म गुडविल भनेर मैले लेखेको, I don't know if you know of this goodwill अनि not Greenpeace, sorry, what was that, अर्को एउटा छ के हैन. There are a lot of organizations that म US मा हुनेमा हाम्रो कलेज नजिकै गुडविल थियो के, अनि they take your donations and they sell it at really cheap rate to people who are in need. Massive warehouses huncha, and we used to donate it, we used to go there and buy also लुगाहरु हैन. अब के थीम पार्टी यस्तो हुन्थ्यो. Why go buy clothes from somewhere, why spend more money on, बरु त्यहाँ गएर someone else ले चलाइरहेको थियो. हामी एक दिन दुई दिन लाउनको लागि you don't need to buy something else again. अनि त्यो चलाएपछि at the end of the year we used to donate that again के. अनि I really, when I was coming back from the US, I was really hoping I could see something like that in Nepal also के. कसैले गरे हुन्थ्यो भन्ने मलाई कस्तो मनमा थियो के. अनि when you told me things about swap events and your thrift stores kind of thing गर्ने कुरा गर्नु भएको थियो नि हैन, I really wanted to make that part of this podcast also. Can you tell me about this thrift and swap events and swap parties haruko barema?
Definitely. So in 2018 Global Fashion Exchange they swap events गरिरहेको थियो बाहिर US मा and all around the world and independently like anyone could do it. So we started, so we're the first ones to do global swap parties and events in Nepal and we made it free so that it's accessible to everyone manera. So whoever wants to participate, let's say 10 maximum limit of clothes, 10 clothes they can bring हैन जुन चाहिँ कपडा चाहिँ उहाँहरुले सायद लाउनु हुन्न, they've outgrown of it हुन्छ नि, or they don't enjoy wearing it anymore and that's why they want to exchange it for some other clothes. So 2 weeks kolai we run this drive of collecting clothes where people can come drop off their clothes हुन्छ नि अनि त्यसपछि we go through a quality check ourselves where clothes go through different phases of quality check हुन्छ नि. There are 2-3 people हुन्छ नि, like if I think it's in a good condition भने म पछिको next मान्छेले चाहिँ okay maybe हुन्छ नि it's not in the best condition भनेर, but अनि त्यसपछि हामीले categories मा राखेको छौं जुन चाहिँमा चाहिँ तपाईको A क्याटेगोरीमा छ भने चाहिँ these are excellent condition मा भएको कपडाहरु हैन, अनि त्यसपछि B मा छ भने चाहिँ these clothes are like okay maybe a button is missing, it needs some sort of attention हैन for you, but we just want to make you aware that it's not in the perfect condition but it's still wearable भनेर. अनि त्यसपछि there's this rejected section as well. तर reject भयो भन्नेमा चाहिँ what we don't, so they have a choice, so you can either take it back हुन्छ नि, or you can donate it to us and we'll upcycle it one year. So whatever upcycling that we do are the rejected clothes. So that is how we work. And swap parties say how it works. So you bring in 10 clothes and let's say 2 of it got rejected, but you have 8 token. So when you come to that event, you can take 8 clothes with you. But we really make sure to tell our participants that it's all right if you don't like few clothes हुन्छ नि. It's not about 8 नै लग्नु पर्छ भन्ने हैन,
पैसा वसुल हैन,
right? Yeah, just take the clothes that you really think that you're going to wear हुन्छ नि and value भनेर. अनि surprisingly first time देखि नै we had about 25-30 people participate and then we had recurring participants as well, okay? So they really enjoyed the process
throughout these 2 weeks.
So no, like so we used to do this every quarter, like 3 months ma. अनि त्यसपछि one good thing was मैले यसपालि लगाइसके यो कपडा भनेर ल्याउने खालको पनि थिएन के. So even participants who were participating like एउटा दुईटा कपडा ल्याउँथ्यो भने but they wouldn't bring the whole set of clothes that they took away last time, and the quality of the kind of clothes that they started bringing changed because maybe पहिला नि चाहिँ सुरुमा they just wanted to see what it was, right? So they weren't in the best condition, but when they realized that मैले राम्रो condition को कपडा ल्याए भने त I can take त्यस्तै equally राम्रो condition को कपडा हो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ
emotional connection पनि बढ्यो के त्यहाँ, like you know this is not just dumping my clothes,
right?
Like there's an emotional connection. There are other people here who might get my clothes,
right?
उनीहरुले राम्रो मेरो राम्रो लुगाहरु नै पाओस्,
and giving second life नै.
Exactly.
So there was someone who told me this that after swap मा आएपछि चाहिँ हाम्रो swap event मा participate गरेपछि चाहिँ यो स्टोर मा गएर कपडा किन्न युजलेस लाग्न थाल्यो रे क्या. Because if I can like surprise myself by attending a swap हुन्छ नि हैन, if I can exchange it for a piece of हुन्छ नि clothing that I already have, why do I need to buy हुन्छ नि another one, a new one भनेर. So I think that is the part हुन्छ नि, these testimonials is what keeps us going, because people are really appreciative of the platform, and that is why we want to make it accessible, which means that it does not have to do with buying, it's just practicing.
Yeah. So one of the things that, one of the words you mentioned was upcycling, and I really wanted to get into that because that might not be a concept that a lot of like you know people might know about. I know because recycling सुनेको छ, because reuse, recycle, reduce भनेर बच्चामा पढेको. तर upcycling अब sustainable fashion को कुरा गर्ने बेलामा one of the key things नै अहिले upcycling नै हो हैन. I've got something to share about that also, but I think it will make more sense if you say something first and then. Upcycling चाहिँ अलिकति बुझाइदिनु न for like you know some people who might not know.
So recycling भनेको चाहिँ त्यो जुन चाहिँ components त्यसमा already existing छ हुन्छ नि, त्यसलाई अब फेरि कसरी युज गर्न सक्छ भन्ने भयो हैन. there are types of recycling as well. Chemical recycling भन्छ, mechanical recycling भन्छ नि, where let's say एकदमै pure cotton को केही बनाइसकेको छ हैन, अनि त्यसपछि nothing else is added to it. भने चाहिँ what you can do is there are techniques, people are trying it out. त्यसलाई फेरि raw material कसरी बनाउने भनेर, like how do you turn it into a thread again, or हुन्छ नि any other form again, so that it can become something completely new भनेर हैन. But upcycling is more like you're adding value to what already exists, okay? So you add value to whatever's there. For example, we're doing a lot of repair and redesign, which is a part of upcycling. So there is a piece of, like there's a shirt that you no longer wear, and you see no value. So how do you upcycle it? Maybe you add few features to it, elements to it. You do a patchwork, you personalize it.
I saw a photo of your coat. Really nice, good-looking coat. This side, you patched with, I think, Dhaka ko something. Well, in the photo it looked like Dhaka ko. At the side, patched looked so nice.
Right.
And so that's all upcycling, right?
That's
repair
absolutely.
and redesigning it.
Right.
Part of upcycling.
So when you're adding value to something, recycling is mostly like this value teni remain huncha, but it's more like downcycling it in the sense that you turn it into a raw material to do something again, right? But whereas for upcycling, it's existing product line, existing item line. Say, how do we add value to it? How can you innovatively, like do something? You can innovate with it. How can you use it for something else? Even like in a way, it's also of like it's adding value, right? Instead of buying something new, you're gonna turn it into a rag and then thangna banaera pusna sakiन्छ त्यसलाई हुन्छ नि.
Upcycling ko kura मैले, the thing I wanted to add was I was very interested in doing something about like upcycling or like sustainable fashion ma ko business ma involve hunu man थियो के मलाई some time ago. अनि I was looking into how feasible is it, basically कति पैसा लाग्छ कपडाहरुको raw materials निकालेर अनि त्यसपछि त्यो रिसाइकल गरेर अनि नयाँ कपडाहरु बनाउनको लागि के for sustainable fashion को कुरा सोच्दाखेरि. अनि I found this documentary about this company in Italy, apparently like involved in literally लुगाहरुबाट cotton निकालेर अब कलर हुन्छ त्यो कलर पनि निकालेर अनि like white cotton मात्र गर्न त्यो सबै त धेरै महँगो पर्दो रहेछ, like यो full factory नै छ. And then उनीहरुको raw materials हरु चाहिँ कसरी आउँदो रहेछ donations, because they like some they were buying clothes by kg.
Right.
I know, and most of it was coming from donations, right? So people were just donating clothes, like rather than get it into landfills. I know, but यसले गर्दा चाहिँ नयाँ उ बन्छ अनि यो फ्याक्ट्रीले अब अर्को सप्लायरबाट सामान किन्नु परेन भनेर चाहिँ अब त्यसरी चाहिँ अपरेट भइरहेको रहेछ कि, but it was really expensive. अनि मलाई अब त्यो सुन्दा त्योबाट गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ this यो चाहिँ गर्न सकिदैन, यो बिजनेसमा चाहिँ छिर्न सकिदैन जस्तो भयो. Then I found out बिस्तारै about your also, and I found out कि you guys were involved in upcycling, like patching clothes, like जुत्ता यहाँ च्यात छ भने patch it up, make it look attractive. And maybe अब त्यसपछि यहाँ पनि च्यात दिने अनि त्यसपछि यहाँ पनि गरेर okay, make it look symmetrical and stuff like that. I thought that was such an amazing thing that you guys were doing, कि you repair, redesign, and putting it all together into upcycling.
Right.
So I also want to cover your reconnect भन्ने कुरा, which you brought up अघि नै. Repair, redesign, reconnect.
No, so basically reconnect, say what we're trying to say is reconnecting with our closet. Even when we're decluttering it, we reconnect with the piece of clothes that it's there, and you never sit and you think, oh my kapra, but when you're actually decluttering it, you start reconnecting. Emotional value kati cha yo kapra ko, will I wear it again or not?
Exactly.
How much do I value it? But through Haushala Creatives say we're also trying to create a platform where you also reconnect with the people who make it, or who will help you elongate the life of your clothes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or reconnect with someone who's going to value your clothes the same way you once valued it. So it's basically about reconnecting with the purpose of why you have those clothes, who made it, because clothes has always been a way for people to connect with one another.
Hey, you look nice.
Right. Or ठ्याक्क दौरा सुरुवाल ल्याउने बित्तिकै यत्रो ठुलो कन्फरेन्समा जाँदाखेरि पनि यो त नेपाली रहेछ है हुन्छ नि लाइक इट्स अल्सो आवर आइडेन्टिटी नि त सो what we're trying to do is it's all right if you did not know your makers, but at least try to reconnect with how did your clothes end up in your closet. And there's a whole process, manufacturing process where you resource it from and all of that. But it's also very much linked with agriculture. Cotton, kasto garo काम छ cotton umarnalai, and the stories behind that that are producers are these cotton producers paid well or not? The fact is they're not. India, our neighboring country, के हुँदैछ भने because अलिकता scientifically उसमा जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ all these genetically modified organisms भनेर जुन चाहिँ यो GMO seed use गर्छ, there's this whole lot of capitalism in that हुन्छ नि त्यो cotton production मा. So a lot of farmers, cotton farmers चाहिँ उहाँहरू चाहिँ अब पुरै ऋणमा डुबिरहेको छ हैन. अनि किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ the GMO seeds for cotton, which is largely used, त्यो चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने सीड ल्यायो अनि त्यसपछि उमार्यो. बट एग्रिकल्चरको प्र्याक्टिसमा त के हो भने तपाईले त्यो सीडलाई राखेर फेरि हुन्छ नि नेक्स्ट सिजनमा you can use it, right? But GMO seeds does not allow you to do that. Okay? So you have to buy new seeds. And in order to support त्यो seedको productionलाई you need to invest on pesticides, हुन्छ नि all of these things, fertilizers हरुलाई हैन. So when that happens उहाँहरु चाहिँ अब ऋणमा डुबिरहेको छ, and we're not talking about crores हुन्छ नि, we're sometimes talking about as little as 40,000 हुन्छ नि Nepali rupees, 20,000 हुन्छ नि, which does not seem like a big deal, right, when we're for the buyers, but for the producers there's a whole different story to that. So when we're doing whatever that we're doing at Haushala Creatives, we make sure that people know about where your products
the roots
are, right,
and know the story, backstory, right. Not just I might look good in this and that's it.
Right. And why are we doing this? Why are we trying to be a part of this? When you're honoring your clothes, you're also honoring the people who made it.
Who make it, yeah.
From the very beginning of the supply chain.
I think यसमा like reconnect को कुरामा चाहिँ like अर्को पनि के छ होला भने like reconnecting with nature, like reconnecting with the resources that has been invested in making this, and reconnecting with the environment and the impact that mass production and fast fashion has on the climate. म यो डिक्लटरिङहरुको बारेमा अस्ति in one of the previous episodes कुरा गर्दाखेरि पनि veganism को बारेमा पनि एउटा एपिसोड गर्दाखेरि like my whole concern, like veganism को एपिसोड गर्दाखेरि Anish ji was talking about compassion for the animals, right? My thing was, if I were to turn vegan, I eat a lot of meat, right? I'm like with him also, I was telling him I'm trying to reduce that meat intake one day, my whole point was, for me, if I were to ever make that decision to go vegetarian or vegan, for me, I think the main reason might be the environment, okay? Like how much it is draining the earth just to feed people chicken and beef and mutton and fish. Oh my god, fish le environment like कति hamper गरिरहेको छ भन्ने कुराहरु त्यो जब थाहा हुन्छ हैन, अनि त्यसपछि गिल्ट आउँछ कि oh no, and I'm also one of these people just like चाहिँ खुवाउनको लागि यो industry is going on, हैन. And you the reason I'm saying this is because clothing ko pani same kura ho ke. I think जब बुझ्छ अनि consciously aware हुन्छ नि यो लुगा बनाउनको लागि मैले यो लुगा किनेर लगाउनको लागि चाहिँ there's so much backstory and अफ रिसोर्सेस द्याट इज बिङ इन्भेस्टेड इन दिस कार्बन फुटप्रिन्ट नै कति छ होला होइन म नेपालमा यहाँ बनेको एउटा लुगा किन्नको सट्टा मैले अमेरिकाबाट अर फ्रान्सबाट इम्पोर्ट भइरहेको एउटा लुगा लाउने हो भने त्यति रिसोर्सेस मात्र छैन फ्लाइटमा चढेर आउनु परिरहेको छ अर बाई सी कन्टेनरमा आउनु परिरहेको छ त्यसमा कति फ्युल गयो कार्बन फुटप्रिन्ट क्याल्कुलेट त त्यसरी हुन्छ नि त होइन कति फ्युल युज भयो मान्छेहरू कति वर्क गरे यो लुगा तिमीलाई त्यहाँबाट यहाँ ल्याउनुको लागि होइन यो सबै थाहा पाएपछि चाहिँ आई थिङ्क भित्र आफै त्यो सोच आउँछ कि सधैँ नयाँ लुगा चाहिन्छ त दसैँको सपिङ गर्नुपर्छ त भन्ने कुरा कि लास्ट इयर मैले दसैँको सपिङ गरिनँ कि केही पनि किन्न मन लागेन है अनि पापाले के किनिराख्नु भएको थियो पापाले यो वर्ष केही पनि किनेन एउटा केही त किन अलि कस्तो ऊ भयो केही पनि लुगा भएन दसैँमा नयाँ लुगा यताउता भन्नु ठिक छ भनेर एउटा स्वेटर किनेँ कि मैले त्यति त्यो मनबाटै आएन कि किनभने सबैजना दसैँ सपिङ भन्दै गर्दा बिजनेस बढिरहेछ तर क्लाइमेटको बारेमा सोच्नु पनि पर्छ जस्तो चाहिँ लागेको कि मलाई चाहिँ अनि यही कुरा गर्दाखेरि अर्को एउटा कुरा पनि थपेँ मैले होइन अब अहिले लाइक आइम गेटिङ म्यारिड सुन अनि बिहाको सपिङ भनेर त भगवान् कति धेरै हुँदो रहेछ है अनि मलाई कस्तो त्यो बिहाको सपिङहरू गर्दाखेरि अब यही टपिकको बारेमा सोच्दाखेरि है लाइक अब आइम थिङ्किङ अबाउट मिनिमलिजम आइम थिङ्किङ अबाउट रिड्युसिङ माई पर्चेसेस एन्ड स्टफ लाइक द्याट अनि अहिले अब बिहाको लागि एन्ड बिहाको यो उसमा होइन माहौलमा सपिङ त कति धेरै बढिरहेछ एन्ड लाइक द्याट्स गोइङ अगेन्स्ट द फिलोसफी द्याट आइ एम ट्राइङ टु लाइक अडप्ट अफ मिनिमलिजम अनि इट वाज प्रिटी डिफिकल्ट फर मी टु लाइक डाइजेस्ट एन्ड लाइक जस्ट आई गेस एक्सेप्ट एन्ड बिकज बिहा भनेको आफ्नो मात्र कुरा त होइन नि त होइन अर्को इन्डिभिजुअल छ अब हाम्रो बिहामा फ्यामिलिजहरू भयो होइन अब त्यसपछि मन राख्नुपर्छ होइन अनि होइन अब रहर हुन्छ आमा बुवाहरूको यसरी गरौँ यो गरौँ ऊ गरौँ भन्ने कुराहरू अब मिनिमलिजम भन्दै अनि त्यसपछि अरूलाई चाहिँ नरमाइलो गराउने त्यस्तो आफ्नै पेरेन्ट्सलाई आफ्नो पार्टनरलाई नरमाइलो हुने खालको पनि हुन त हुँदैन नि त होइन सो लाइक फिलोसफी एउटा ठाउँमा छ विच यु आर ट्राइङ टु अडप्ट तर देयर ट्रेडिसन्स रिचुअल्स यो सबै कुराहरू भनेर पनि मैले चाहिँ लाइक आई वेन्ट अलङ विथ इट पनि कि पार्ट अफ इट
No, it's the cases, but I also feel like personally it does not have to be on the extremes of it. Okay, I know. For example, when we're talking about sustainability, it's not just the पहिलाको स्पिकरले भन्नुभएको जस्तो हैन like throwing away everything that you have in the kitchen अनि त्यसपछि हुन्छ नि buying new हुन्छ नि. So sustainable fashion, responsible fashion and consumption can also be related to like now who do you buy your wedding हुन्छ नि costumes from हुन्छ नि. How do you connect with the people who are making it? How is there this transparency हुन्छ नि whichever designer that you're buying it from that there's this transparency of things that हुन्छ नि you know that anyone who's making it is paid well भनेर because fast fashion, the reason why fast fashion beats slow fashion is also because the convenience of how we get things on it. So I think you don't need to feel bad about it. It's your day, right? But make sure that everything you cherish everything that's in it. And I think that's the reconnect part of it.
For me, मैले चाहिँ केमा लागू गरे भने चाहिँ अब मिनिमलिजमको कुरा हैन जुन यो मेरो बिहाको मैले आफ्नो लागि किन्ने कुराहरुमा चाहिँ मैले केमा गरे भने सुट अब हेर्न गएँ मैले हैन मैले 6 इयर्स अगाडि माई लास्ट सुट मैले बनाएको भने 6 इयर्स ओल्ड थियो कि अब मेरो ज्यान त्यति धेरै बढेन लाइक 6 इयर्स आई हैव बीन रिलेटिभली द सेम मैले त्यही सुट चलाइरहेको थिएँ 2-3टा सुटहरू एउटा त 2013 को पनि म अहिलेसम्म चलाइरहेको थिएँ 7-8 इयर्स नाउ एन्ड आई वाज वेयरिङ द्याट सेम सुट हैन अब अहिलेसम्म चाहिएको पनि थिएन इट वाज इन गुड कन्डिसन आई टेक केयर अफ माई क्लोथ्स भनेर आई वाज फाइन तर बिहाकोमा चाहिँ अब घरि कसले शेरवानी अर लाइक वाट एभर ब्ला 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 एन्ड देन आई वाज थिङ्किङ यु नट आम नट गोना बाई अल दोज थिङ्स रिजन बिङ त्यो एकचोटि मात्र लाइन्छ like when else are you going to wear a sherwani, हैन? अनि म सुट सिलाउन जाने बेलामा मैले के भने I want to buy a pattern or whatever, you know, suit को outfit which I can wear later also, हैन? So मैले कस्तो चाहिँ चुज गरे भने मैले यो कोट लाइन प्यान्ट मात्र लाए भने पनि सुहाउँछ, प्यान्ट अर्कै लाए कोटसँग अर्को लाउँदाखेरि पनि सुहाउँछ. So this I can again wear it for 7 more years, हैन? अनि अब रिसेप्सनको लागि अर्को सुट चाहियो भने ठिक छ, सेम थिङ. If I can wear the pant independently, if I can wear the coat independently, if I can wear the shirt again like 20-50 times, then that helps me feel like I'm like there's no disconnect between the thing that I want to do, the philosophy I want to adopt, and what I'm actually doing.
Absolutely.
And like all my suits and shirts, if I'm already doing that, why मेरो engagement and biha or like, you know, reception ko लुगाहरु चाहिँ why should I only wear it once? I'll wear it 50 times. I'll wear it 7 more years भनेर चाहिँ मैले त्यसरी चाहिँ गरे के. And I'm actually thinking एउटा episode अब यही कुरा गर्दा I was thinking कि बिहाको shopping को बारेमा एउटा episode गर्नु मन छ मलाई. Minimalism and wedding shopping के.
Right.
Like because one of the episodes I did with Bhavna wedding ko barema, that I think मैले त्यहाँ भनेको थिएँ कि like I love what you did, but that might not be the thing that I do. That might not be an approach for me. That might not be an approach for like 100 of other people. I know, because that was a little like it was very different how she and her partner they got married. I know, might not be for everyone. भनेर might have like right now यही उसमा छ नि त मेरो अहिले it's happening right now. So I was thinking I want to do one where how do you know manage wedding shopping जसको पनि धेरै हुन्छ अनि minimalism चाहिँ कसरी or like intentionality and sustainably कसरी shopping गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने कुरा के. So which might be a really good thing.
Definitely it's कस्तो हो भने conscious भएर केही काम गर्नु र conscious नै नभइकन like यो के हुन्छ भोलि नसोचिकन गर्नुमा there is a difference नि त. And it starts with I think self awareness, acknowledging that okay, you know, like this is gonna take some of my effort हुन्छ नि, this is me going outside my comfort zone हुन्छ नि, and then you start being creative on how you're gonna play with it. For example, for you हुन्छ नि, instead of you made a choice Nita, okay, maybe this is not the kind of हुन्छ नि clothing that I want to go for, and I want to go with something that's gonna be हुन्छ नि that I can use it with anything, that's gonna go with anything भनेर. But that only comes with consciousness Nita.
Awareness and
awareness.
Funny thing, my जुत्ता किन्नु परिरहेको थियो कि अब जुत्ता मैले again 4-5-6 वर्ष अगाडिको जुत्ताहरू लाइरहेको थिएँ, पापाको जुत्ताहरू लाइरहेको थिएँ हैन. अब you know engagement all like you know wedding ceremonies मा त can't wear 6-7-year-old shoes भन्नु भयो कि, and then जुत्ता shopping गर्न जाउँ न त भनेर I went with my dad and I said एउटा मात्र लिन्छु because you know I can wear this for again 5-6 some more years. अनि के भयो भने ड्याडले भन्नु अब ल इन्गेजमेन्ट छ, बिहा छ, अब मेहन्दी सङ्गीतहरू भयो, रिसेप्सन भयो, 4 चोटि एउटै जुत्ता लाउँछस् भनेर भन्नुभयो कि मलाई के हुन्छ लाइक इज द्याट नट ओके. लाइक जुत्ता त कसले जुत्ता हेर्छ, लाइक पिपल आर गोना मेबी लुक एट मी, माई फेस, माई फियोन्से, माई वाइफ होइन, दे आर नट गोना बी लुकिङ एट माई सुज भनेर. अनि त्यो मान्नु नै भएन कि हुँदैन, अर्को पनि लिनुपर्छ. एन्ड देन आई सेड ओके फाइन, maybe if I can, the whole thing with me was it's about me. I need to make more use of it. किनेर प्रब्लम भन्दा पनि किनेर युज नगरेर चाहिँ प्रब्लम हुन सक्छ भन्ने सोच थियो कि. एन्ड विच लाइक यु नो लाइक यु सेड इट कम्स विथ अवेरनेस एन्ड कन्सियसली थिङ्किङ कि ओके आई एम गोना डु इट लाइक दिस भनेर. वी टक्ड अ लिटल बिट अबाउट फास्ट फ्यासन. मलाई फास्ट फ्यासनको बारेमा कुरा गर्नु मन लागेको. But I think like we've already covered this thing, like you know, fast fashion and climate change. Like fast fashion and slow fashion. Fast fashion in Nepal ko kura garu. Let's forget H&M and Forever 21 and Zara and all that stuff. They're not producing there. Yahan aira wala ko bada hai na. So let's talk about fast fashion in Nepal. Can you tell me a little bit about this? And like, cause you're in the slow fashion industry, hai na. Can you tell me about fast fashion in Nepal? Cause like I don't know much about it.
So fast fashion in Nepal भनेको चाहिँ everything that you see in हाम्रो malls, everything that you see in the streets of New Road, everything that you see in Kumaripati, all of that is...
Streets of New Road,
everything is fast fashion.
Fast fashion.
अनि तर नेपालको अझै फास्ट फ्यासन भनेको चाहिँ कस्तो भने तपाईको ग्लोबल नर्थ वेस्टको फास्ट फ्यासनको पनि कपी वाला फ्यासन हुन्छ नि यहाँ आउने चाहिँ which is when we're talking about fast fashion, people are usually talking about Zara, people are talking about H&M, but अझै नेपालमा आउने fast fashion products are even more complicated than that, okay? Because these are not like clothes that these brands are making. These are clothes that probably countries like China is making, which
China,
is
Bangladesh, Vietnam,
अनि त्यसपछि but अनि त्यसपछि त्यसमाथि it's not even like त्यो branded पनि होइन हैन अनि त्यो particular company ले produce गरेको पनि हैन, but someone was, let's say, inspired and they're making more of it at a cheaper cost using cheaper materials. And that's
being
how
cheap labor
and त्यसपछि अझै त्यो dark side of the story त अझै हामीलाई थाहा पनि छैन हुन्छ नि, because we don't know whom to reach out to. As हामीले जुन चाहिँ, let's say, a pair of jeans that we easily get, it's so hard to find out who made it, what company made it भनेर, because त्यो legitimacy नै छैन in the whole production process and all of that. So fast fashion scenario अझै नेपालमा चाहिँ एकदमै त्यो disruptive भएर गएको चाहिँ के भने online shopping हैन. So online shopping is so accessible अनि त्यसपछि when we see it, our target group is also young people हुन्छ नि, हाम्रो swap events हरुको लागि हुन्छ नि, because we want to let them know that once so there's this beauty, I'll just come back to something else है त. दशैंको शपिङको कुरा गरेको थियौ हैन अघि नै. For a really long time मैले दशैं शपिङ गर्नै छाडेछ हुन्छ नि, अनि अस्ति मात्र मलाई I was missing the joy of shopping during दशैं when I was like 8 or 9 years old हैन, किनभने 8 or 9 हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ when you're of that age, it's usually your parents like shopping for you, right? हैन. अनि त्यसपछि तर दशैंमा चाहिँ यो birthdays र दशैंमा चाहिँ you have this choice of Samantha, go choose whatever that you want to भनेर. अनि त्यतिखेर I made more conscious choices than I made while I was a teenager when I had this pocket money के हुन्छ नि हैन. किनभने दशैंमा चाहिँ one time I need to buy something that I'm gonna wear with anything. This has to be something.
It's a rare opportunity.
It's a rare opportunity. But I try to make the most of it. And त्यसपछि I started missing that joy. किनभने teenager हुन थालेपछि त pocket money दिन्थ्यो parents ले, college मा जाने बेलामा you'd save money and you would just, it did not have to be a special and options पनि बढ्यो अनि त्यसपछि you had this, you could make your own choices हुन्छ नि. अनि I was making all those unconscious choices of हुन्छ नि के राम्रो देख्ने बित्तिकै, which is consumerism, right? While passing by हुन्छ नि a store, I see something and then I try to think to myself that I'm gonna make use of this, but I'm trying to convince myself, but I'm not deliberately going there to buy something because I'm already in need of something. But so consumerism also kills the beauty of हुन्छ नि and the excitement जस्तो पनि लाग्यो क्या, because you're just buying it हुन्छ नि अनि done हुन्छ नि, you purchased it, but there's this no thought process of why are you buying it हुन्छ नि, when am I gonna get this opportunity again भनेर.
So I think the difference in your fast fashion को shopping र slow fashion को shopping भनेको slow fashion को मा चाहिँ there's more of a story and people who engage more in slow fashion shopping चाहिँ like engage with the shopkeeper also, कहाँ भन्यो कसरी भन्यो हो, like for example handicraftहरू किन्ने बेलामा पनि when you go to a furniture store you rarely ask कहाँ भन्यो, के material use भयो यसमा, कहाँको काठ यता उता, but then when you like go to local handicraft stores
absolutely
like you ask questions like कहाँ कसले बनाउँछ यो, कहाँ चाहिँ बन्छ अनि कुन गाउँमा हो, यस्तो सबै सोध्न आउँछ कि. अनि त्यो भएपछि के हुन्छ, the connection automatically build भयो. And I'll go back to the first point you said कि यो sustainable fashion भनेको is connected to empathy is what you said, and I think slow fashion मा पनि त्यही हो कि empathy and connection बढ्छ with the makers with your clothes, with handicrafts, whatever the things that you're buying. Okay? So yeah.
You made a valid point in terms of, let's say, when you're going to this big supermarket, shop garदाखेरि, you'll hardly ask people. The only question you're gonna ask is, "Is my price tag छैन भन्छ कि त यो छ कि छैन भन्छौ
size छ कि छैन त्यो
right? But you're not gonna ask, okay, कसले बनाएको हो यो हुन्छ नि. Even when you're buying clothes at a mall or a supermarket or any place, but when you're going to, let's say, a tiny shop, हुन्छ नि, we're working with a limited number of makers, you really start asking that question on who's making it, who's making these products, who's the artist behind it. Even in terms of jewelry,
yes.
Like when we're going to New Road jewelry, we don't care about who's making it. We're just concerned about the design. But when you're buying it from, let's say, आजकल ethically made jewelry, when you have that story, you learn about this artisan, कति वर्ष भयो. These are the kind of information that you get. हुन्छ नि, अब उहाँको तर next generationले चाहिँ बनाउन छाडिरहेको छ, हुन्छ नि, यो अब हराउँदै छ भन्ने कुराहरू हुन्छ हैन. Those are the kind of conversations that you have. And I think that is the beauty of slow fashion compared to fast fashion. Exactly. Because exactly what you said, it's all about connection.
It's all about connection, yeah. Last कुरा छ एउटा, like I always like to end these episodes with a suggestion or two. So what we can do is, you give a suggestion and then I'll give a suggestion. Suggestion भन्दा पनि something that you might want to encourage people to do, okay? So you go first and then I'll go.
I think मेरो एउटा suggestion चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने, to तपाईले यो जुन चाहिँ यो एउटा दिगो लाइफस्टाइल, एउटा सस्टेनेबल लाइफस्टाइल बाँच्नको लागि चाहिँ तपाईलाई नयाँ कुराहरू चाहिँदैन क्या. हामीसँग भयो कि we are already so resourceful, हुन्छ नि, अनि त्यसलाई हामीले चाहिँ चिनेर आइडेन्टिफाई गरेर चाहिँ हुन्छ नि, त्यसलाई अब कसरी बेस्ट युजमा ल्याउन सक्छु भन्ने नै चाहिँ इज अ सस्टेनेबल लाइफस्टाइल. अनि द्याट सुड बी इम्प्लाइड हामीहरूको क्लोजेटमा पनि, हामीले लगाउने कपडाहरूमा पनि, किनभने तपाईको कपडा इज यो आइडेन्टिटी एन्ड तपाईको कपडा मात्रै नभएर यो कपडा बनाउनेको पनि स्टोरी छ, यसमा इन्भेस्ट भएको नेचुरल रिसोर्सेसको पनि कथा छ. It's so much more. But the most important part is किनेर मात्र भएन, लगाएर मात्र भएन, तपाईले आफ्टर लाइफको बारे पनि सोच्नु पर्यो हैन. सो त्यो आफ्टर लाइफको बारे चाहिँ कसरी सोच्ने भन्दाखेरि यो कता एन्ड अप हुँदो रहेछ त भनेर पनि त्यो कन्सियस डिसिजन्सहरु लिन थाल्यो भने चाहिँ त्यतिखेर चाहिँ वी बिकम क्रिएटिभ, वी बिकम इनोभेटिभ. किनभने आफ्नो एउटा फुटप्रिन्ट त छाड्न मन लाग्दैन नि त हामीलाई, इन अ भेरी ब्याड वे द्याट विल समडे हामीलाई नै नराम्रो हुने कति कुराहरू भइरहेको छ नि त. So I think my one suggestion would be conscious of your actions, choices that you make, हुन्छ नि, अनि एकैचोटी लाइफस्टाइलमा आइहाल्नुपर्छ, रिफ्लेक्ट भइहाल्छ भन्ने छैन क्या. बिस्तारै once you start thinking about it, slowly with time, हुन्छ नि, it will come, हुन्छ नि. So one thing at a time, and I think one thing at a time is, do I really need this or not? What am I going to do with this after I'm done using it?
Am I trying to just convince myself that I might need it in the future?
Right.
So thank you for that suggestion or tip. Mine also something along those same lines. My suggestion would be, or a tip would be, give your clothes or anything else a second life, third life. So if you've got something and you realize that you're not using it anymore, bhai lai diyo, baini lai diyo, didi lai, whoever, and cousins or lai pani dida huncha haina, give it a second life. There's no shame in wearing your parents' clothes, your siblings' clothes, your cousins' clothes. Okay? Literally no shame in it. Just give it a second life, a third life. Make sure it's the thing that it is, and the resources that all went into making it does not have a short life के
Right.
so जति resources आफूसँग भए पनि पैसा छँदैछ किन उसको लाउने किन्न सकिहाल्छु किन्न सक्ने कुरा हैन के तर किन किन्ने जब कि अलरेडी अर्को छ जुन चाहिँ युज भइरा छैन स्पेशली त्यही घरमा तिमीलाई अट्ने तिमीले खोजेको जस्तै लुगा छ भने हैन अर्को किन किन्ने जुन त्यो चाहिँ युज भइरा छैन भने तिमी युज गर्दियौ हैन there's no shame in that.
Right.
Rather, Mother Nature would thank you for it.
There's this, I know that we were ending, but there's this quote by Ursula she's the founder of Fashion Revolution, okay, Anna? So what she says is, we're not re-wearing because we can't afford it, but we're re-wearing because we can't afford to throw it away. And I think that is what we need to think about.
A nugget. So there are nuggets of wisdom. This is going to be a nugget. So, we're at the end of our episode. Thank you so much, Samantha, for joining me, for giving me your time, for your insights today. I like to end these episodes with this bookshelf. These are some of the books that, most of the books I read are already gone. These are, I think there are only 2 or 3 books here remaining that I've actually read. Right. So what I like to do is, I had a huge book collection, and what I like to do is, with minimalism, give away some of the books that I've read, I'm not going to read anymore, or some books that, I got that I'm not going to read, and, share it with other people that might get value from it.
Right.
And, my suggestion is, after you finish it, minimize it and share it with someone else.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
It was such a lovely conversation. Thank you.
I'm glad that I'm here today.